Burning Eyes Entertainment presents The H-Guys in Celestial Crossing, with special guest, Nat 20.
Are you joking with us, Sensei? Someone in the row second from the front finally breaks the silence with an indignant shriek. Even as I sink back into my chair with dread, I kind of can't blame him.
Are you still having trouble understanding the equation, Yamaguchi-san? If so, you can stay after class today and join the study group.
Free hand job. Yamaguchi sputters. Apparently his agitation is so great he can't even speak. The confused grumblings don't end there, and similar outbursts occur every time Agano-sensei calls on Nearth for an answer. The elf finds all of this hilarious, of course, and amuses herself by coming up with the most ridiculous responses possible right up until lunchtime.
We should have done this right from the start, Useless. This school thing is hysterical. I mean, that shit with the numbers in different languages was pretty stupid, but I managed to liven things up.
She smirks and laughs, looking at me expectantly. Yeah, thanks for that. It's not like we really needed to know any of that stuff for exams or anything.
Bitch.
Luckily, the sarcasm seems to fly right over the elf's head, but not the bitch part, and then she stabs me in the gut. As she happily digs into the bag of Yaki soba bread we bought on the way to school this morning. She sniffs at her stuffed bread curiously for a moment before clearly finding the scent appealing enough to take a bite.
Holy shit! That's amazing! What the hell have I been eating before this?
Her happy moan of delight.
It's so good.
Attracts attention, and I fight the urge to cover my face in embarrassment. It's also distracting enough that I don't notice Yamaguchi and two of his friends wander up until they're leaning over our desks, ready to beat me with their dicks. As is their custom. Oh, he has art.
Holy shit.
So did you show up just to play some kind of weird prank on the school? They look pretty pissed, though none of them come close to looking as completely outraged as Nearth when she realizes her delicious meal is being interrupted.
Are you talking to me?
Are you talking to me?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, I don't know how you got Agano-sensei in on the joke, but you need to quit. It's wasting everyone's time. He's actually totally in the right here.
Yeah.
I'm really worried about the exam next week, alright?
I start to sweat. That suddenly eager look on Nearth's face can't be a sign of anything good to come. Especially since Nearth's idea of a good time typically involves bloody dismemberment.
Why did you build her like this?
Clueless as to just how close he is to death right now, Yamaguchi's frown turns into a nasty, taunting sneer. It's with the body paint and ears. Who comes to school looking so stupid? You think you're a fairy princess or something?
Fucking what?
I have exactly 2 seconds to react before Nearth stomps his ass into the ground.
Show that you have Nearth's back.
I was gonna say try and calm everyone down, but, so I guess you have...
I'm gonna roll a dice.
Okay.
1, 2 for top, 3, 4 for bottom.
Okay.
Try to calm everyone down, and it won't work.
No, of course not.
Placing a restraining hand on Nearth, I speak up, drawing the boys' attention to me for the first time.
Just before Nearth grabs my hand and flips me over her shoulder.
Oh, totally.
She's just really into cosplay, okay? Who cares? Wham.
Yep.
Holy shit! Oh.
Using their distraction to her advantage, Nearth throws a heavy sucker punch right at Yamaguchi's chin.
Dude, I actually sympathize with this Yamaguchi dude a lot. So he's like, hey, how about let's, pay attention in class and not goof off? Anyway, I just came to say that to you, and then she fucking sucker punches him.
I mean, he does strike me as he seems kind of like an asshole anyway, but in this instance,
Yeah.
he's right. It hits him right on the button, and with a loud grunt, the boy goes down in a heap. His friends sound off with a loud chorus of, "What the hells? What the hell?
What the hell?
But I barely hear them over the screaming and shouting coming through the rest of the class. Oh my god! Who had already been who had already been watching the altercation with interest. One of Yamaguchi's friends takes an enraged swing at Nearth.
Oh.
She ducks under his fist as if he had been moving in slow motion. Then using his forward momentum against him, she latches onto the arm and flips his entire body over. Yep. He goes flying into a row of desks, knocking them over violently and causing a few of the girls in the back to scream some more. The last guy looks about ready to pee his pants, especially when he gets a good look at the expression of pure, unadulterated bloodlust on Nearth's face.
He then just lays down on the ground.
Nearth. I hear my own voice say her name in a hoarse croak, and I feel lightheaded for a moment, like I'm going to faint. From all the blood going from my head to my dick.
Damn, I was hoping they'd put up more of a fight.
Nearth, I think some of the girls are saying they're going to find the teachers.
I got it. You really worried too much, Useless.
With that, she closes her eyes and begins a low, resonant chanting. In the space between two heartbeats, that static prickle from earlier teases at the surface of my skin.
That static pickle from earlier teases me.
Ugh, that pickle. And then all of a sudden the girls are still screaming, only now they're screaming that Yamaguchi and his friends were fighting each other. I glance over at Neerith, who is once again calmly munching on her yakisoba bread. She meets my flabbergasted gaze and scowls.
You are completely without balls, Useless. Really, it would be fascinating if it didn't piss me off to no end.
I am now 100% convinced you're a eunuch.
We're going to have to do something about that.
Here, I know a spell of growing balls. I use
So
it on
now I
myself,
have-
that's how I always became so tough.
So now I have 6 balls.
I only had 4 before. I swallow nervously, not liking the sound of this one bit. Wihar.
Well, killing you certainly isn't an option. I don't plan on stranding myself on this stupid world forever. I figure I might actually be able to tolerate you if you develop more of a spine.
Hint, do the aggressive things if you want that elf wiener. Yeah. She laughs blithely at my affronted expression.
You'll be thanking me when your newfound confidence eventually gets you laid.
Probably from me.
And trust me, it will.
Hint. My entire face feels like it's roasting, but before I can come up with a suitable comeback, Neerith yawns hugely. Big huge.
That last spell took a lot out of me. I need to rest up, especially if we have to do all this nonsense again tomorrow.
The thoughts of her sleeping the rest of the day away peacefully is almost too much to hope for, so I try not to say anything that might change her mind. After lunch, several school administrators show up to take the alleged troublemakers away. Everyone is perfectly convinced that the incident had nothing to do with Neerith.
Poor Yamaguchi.
Yeah.
Even if he is like a fucking delinquent the rest of the time, he kind of didn't deserve this. I watched the boys get taken away, and he actually, aside from his just general state of dress being slightly unbuttoned, we have no real evidence that he's an asshole.
Yeah.
I watched the boys get taken away and wonder for a minute just how powerful her magic is here in the real world. Now that I've seen the full extent, her spells don't look like anything I know from the game. Could they have powers beyond the scope of Celestial Crossing? Title drop? The thought that she could probably turn me into a turnip if she wanted crosses my mind more than once, because I really hate turnips, as I settle in for a blessedly uneventful afternoon. I don't get to enjoy deep, dreamless sleep very often, especially not anymore. What with the fact that every time I wake up, it's just I got a priapism. Which is why Neerith's wake-up call the next day is so unwelcome.
Get up, Useless!
It's 2 a.m. Thud. Part of the reason anyway. The other part could be the sharp pain radiating out from where my skull meets the floor. I don't bother to point out to her that the shout alone would have been enough to jolt me awake. It's my suspicion that flipping my entire body off the couch is just Neerith's preferred method of starting the day. Though it hardly even looks like a day has started. Once the stars fade from my vision, I catch a glimpse of the still dark living room door. Window. Ugh. The sun hasn't even risen yet as I barf up my lunch again. Before Neerith's appearance in my life, I typically find myself climbing into bed around this time of night, not waking up. First day
of training, moron. And fair warning, I don't feel like going easy on you after that embarrassing shit you pulled the other day.
Learn a level in Monk. I feel my face blanch. You mean you were serious about that? What training? The elf doesn't even grace me with a response, instead crossing her arms and narrowing her eyes venomously. I note that she's already wearing her school uniform for the day and a symbiote suit, hence the venom. I dare to feel a little relieved at that. Surely she isn't planning to use training as an excuse to pummel me if she's dressed for class. The blood would be troublesome to explain, after all, magic or no magic.
Where do you think you're going?
I pause in my trek towards the bedroom. To change clothes?
Those will work. Follow me.
She spins on her heel and marches to the front door, clearly intending on training me away from the apartment. This is fine by me. The further away I am, the less likely we are to destroy what pieces of unbroken furniture I have left. Sadly, however, she doesn't move towards the main stairwell the way I expect. Instead, she heads out into the hallway and pads further down. I don't typically come down this way, so I feel a flutter of sudden anxiety when she pauses in front of a door. What are you? She wraps her knuckles smartly against it and takes me another minute to realize what's happening. There is a long moment of complete silence, and when no one answers her knock, Neerith pounds on the door even harder, automatically seeking to stop her from making such a racket. I reach out and grab her fist. Are you crazy? What are you doing? I don't know why I even bother whispering. A sudden fumbling noise from the other side of the door catches our attention, and I realize that the damage has already been done.
Yo, what the fuck?
Who the hell is? I stare in horrified surprise as I come face to face with none other than Yamaguchi. I had no idea he even lived in this building, let alone my own floor. It's clear from the way he looks at us blearily that we woke him up from his sound sleep, and it takes a minute for the expression of startled surprise and then intense dislike to chase across his features. Why is he still wearing the uniform? I don't care. You His voice lowers to an enraged hiss as he grabs the collar of my pajamas. I don't know how the hell you did it, but everyone in my class thinks my friends and I beat each other up. That's cool! You want to join our gang? He shakes me, and even though he's only a few inches taller than me, his fury is enough that he actually manages to lift my heels off the ground. I think I make a noise. I can only pray it wasn't a pathetic sounding one. It was. You know what? I don't even care. True to his word, he lets go of me so suddenly that I wobble trying to regain my balance. I'm relieved until I see him winding his fist back for a one-punch knockout.
Okay.
I think I just want to beat the shit out of you now. His angry snarl promises violence, and I have mere moments to decide what to do.
Nirva's gonna want you to raise your fist.
Well, also the fact that at this point I don't think talking to him will give you enough time for the punch to stop.
That's fair.
All I can think about is the fact that I can't just stand here and wait to be slaughtered by this guy. My fists shake a bit as I raise them in front of my face, poised to at least attempt some kind of block should it become necessary. It's too late to wonder if I'm doing it wrong. The furious punch is already in full swing, and on reflex, my eyes flinch closed. It's stupid, and I have just enough time to recognize that I'm sabotaging myself before I expect the blow to land. The painful impact I expect never comes.
You can open your eyes now.
He is now a zombie. Shocked, I oblige and immediately jump back from the fist clenched just a few centimeters from my face. You froze him?
That's right.
She strides to Yamaguchi's side and whispers something to him, possibly the incantation to yet another spell.
Then he bursts into flames and dies.
And then he starts taking off his clothes and offers to suck my dick. That was a spell I did.
Our minds went to different places there, and I'm okay with that.
I'm not sure why I picked up that spell in the game.
I don't know where my mind went.
Good. Why am I being the worst person today? His arm quickly snaps back to his side, and without a word, he shuffles back into his apartment, closing the door behind him, going home to rethink his life.
Kinda looks like him, too. He won't remember this, don't worry. I was just using him to prove points.
Oh, I get it. If you tried not to fight back, she would have been pissed at you. She looks entirely too pleased with herself, placing her hands smugly on her hips. I'm too deflated with relief at the moment to be upset with her, so I save the emotional outburst she deserves for another day. What point were you trying to prove exactly? That you're a pussy?
A very simple one.
She lifts the finger and points it directly at my nose, so close I almost go cross-eyed.
Listen up, Useless, because this is Lesson 1.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Steel Ball Run, Lesson 1. Feel the spin energy as you ride your horse.
There's time for words, and there's time when trying to talk just gives your enemy the opportunity they need to cave your head in.
Now, you would be right in this instance if not for the fact that the scenario was entirely manufactured.
Yes.
Your main problem is that you either don't know when to take action, or you try and take action and hesitate.
This sounds like nonsense to me. How the heck are you supposed to know which situations are which in a split second? Think back to the beginning of the confrontation, even before that, to the fight in class with the Yamaguchi's friends. It's hard to think about taking action when I'm tired, when you're naturally a passive person. She rolls her eyes but doesn't argue. At least she recognizes that we're fundamentally different people.
Look, I know eunuchs like you are a bit different than normal people, so...
It's all about attitude, Useless. Attitude and knowing what your own capabilities are.
For example, you're capable of making pasta, and that's about it.
Yep.
What capabilities? I half expect her to smack me for my pessimism.
Which admittedly puts you at a higher level than Kugel here.
I can make pasta, goddammit! That's all I eat most days!
I believe in you, Google.
I hate you both. You caught me in a bad moment, okay? I was delirious from hunger.
I didn't say anything.
I hate you.
I didn't say anything. I'm sorry.
Every fucking time I make food, you shit on me. Or at least throw a defensive snort my way.
Shit on you when you made the beef thing.
You said it sucks. You did.
No, I didn't. I was honest with you about my critique, and I did still eat it. Unlike other people who only ate part of it and then said like, oh, this is perfect, but I'm only going to eat one bite.
And then threw it on the floor.
Yeah, I ate the whole thing, and then I was like, this is good, but maybe you should try a little more sauce, and it was a little dry.
You're just using too much sauce. Or at least throw a derisive... Back to the story. Or at least throw a derisive snort my way. Instead, she makes a wide grin.
Don't worry about it, idiot. That's what I'm here for.
An expectant silence grows between us for a moment. A pregnant pause, if you will.
For now, though, I just want breakfast. Go get me some of that Yaki bread stuff we had the other day.
I blame the small smile I give her on a combination of fatigue and relief. It's easy to tell myself that I hate her for putting me through such a ridiculous task.
Good, you should hate her.
Said and done, I still hurry through my morning routine and purchase a few extra yakisoba breads on the way to school.